Have you noticed how reality itself feels different lately? It's as though the veil between worlds is thinning, and what was once hidden is now desperately trying to be seen. Chosen ones, your heightened senses are not deceiving you. You are tuned into this frequency for a reason. If you feel a stirring deep within, an unshakable knowing that something profound is unfolding, this message is specifically for you. Others may dismiss it as mere coincidence. Prepare to uncover the ancient prophecy now activating, and the final warning it carries, a warning and key to unlocking your truest potential. I stand before you today not merely as an observer, but as a messenger tasked with unveiling truths that have been deliberately obscured from your sight. We are not speaking of mundane shifts in the political landscape or fleeting economic anxieties. No, what is transpiring is far more profound, a cosmic ray alignment that will test the very fabric of reality as you know it. This ancient prophecy, whispered through generations and encoded in sacred texts, is no longer a dormant myth. It is a living, breathing force that is rapidly manifesting in our world. What I'm about to share is not just information, it is a divine spark intended to ignite the fire within you, clarifying your purpose and steeling your resolve for the battles ahead. This is about so much more than just comfortably cruising through life. This final warning presents both an obstacle and a promise for unimaginable growth. The final warning is not merely a harbinger of doom, but an invitation. A universal alarm has sounded across existence itself. This is an invitation to step into your divine inheritance, to awaken the dormant powers within, and to become the instruments of light you were always meant to be. It signifies the end of passive observation and the commencement of active participation in the spiritual war currently raging around and within you. Understand that we are not merely physical beings navigating a material world, but spiritual warriors engaged in a timeless battle against forces that seek to control and diminish the light within us. This prophecy details a long foretold spiritual battle between good and evil, where you, the chosen ones, play a crucial role. This is a battle waged not with swords and shields, but with discernment, intention, and unwavering faith. You are the key, chosen ones, and the time for you to recognize and embrace your power is now. The enemy is cunning, cloaked in deception, and adept at manipulating the very structures of society to keep you enslaved. These forces understand and fear the potential that lies dormant within you. It is your ability to see through their illusions, to shatter their control, and to create a new reality grounded in truth, compassion, and divine love. I'm not simply sharing knowledge today, I'm offering a roadmap for navigating the coming storm, empowering you to not only survive, but to thrive amidst the chaos. Before we delve deeper into this ancient prophecy, it's crucial that we create a sacred space for this knowledge. Take a moment to center yourself, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. Then, hit the like button if you feel a resonance with this message. Subscribe to the channel to join our community of awakened souls, and type "awakened" in the comments to declare your commitment. These small actions serve as a powerful declaration to the universe, signaling your readiness to receive the wisdom and guidance that is about to be revealed. It also helps us connect with others who are on a similar path. If you're truly one of the chosen ones, you'll feel a strong urge to participate in this activation. Trust your intuition and let your heart guide you. Don't be afraid to step into your power. Your willingness to engage with this message is a testament to your courage, your compassion, and your unwavering commitment to the light. Thank you for taking this step with me. Your presence here is a powerful force for good, and together we can shift the course of history. The central question we must now address is, what are the specific signs of this prophecy activating now, and how can we discern the truth from the deception that surrounds us? In this video, we'll explore the key symbols and events of the prophecy, identify the signs of its activation in contemporary society, delve into the nature of spiritual warfare, and provide you with practical strategies for aligning with your destiny. Prepare to have your perspective shifted, your intuition heightened, and your spirit ignited. This is your time to awaken, to remember who you are, and to fulfill your destiny as a chosen one. The final warning has been sounded. The time for preparation is over. The time for action is now. Step into your power, chosen ones, and let your light shine brightly. Chosen ones, have you felt it? That nagging sense that the world around you is shifting, subtly yet undeniably. It's not just your imagination. The prophecy's activation is underway, and the signs are all around us. These signs are dismissed by most, those not chosen, as mere coincidence or overactive imaginations, but to you, they are coded messages meant to awaken you to your true purpose. The activation signs manifest in countless ways, both internally and externally. Internally, you might experience a heightened intuition, a flood of insights that seem to come from nowhere. Have you ever known something was going to happen before it did, or felt an immediate, unshakable gut feeling about a person or situation? That's your intuition, a divinely given compass, guiding you through the labyrinth of life. Your emotional sensitivity may also be amplified, causing you to feel the collective anxieties and fears of the world more intensely. Don't mistake this heightened sensitivity for weakness, chosen one. It is a gift, an ability to empathize with others and to discern the energies around you. Externally, you might notice unusual patterns and technological anomalies. Perhaps you repeatedly encounter specific numbers or symbols, like 111, 222, or the Vesica Piscis. Perhaps you've experienced glitches in technology, disruptions in established systems that seem to defy explanation. These are not random occurrences, but deliberate signs designed to catch your attention. Consider the signs that preceded major biblical events. Before Noah's flood, there was a widespread increase in violence and corruption, a turning away from God's laws. Before the Exodus, the Israelites suffered under intense oppression, a cry for deliverance that echoed through the heavens. Today, we see similar signs all around us: increasing political polarization, rampant social injustice, environmental devastation, moral decay. These are not simply isolated problems, but symptoms of a deeper spiritual crisis, a final warning that humanity is on the precipice of a major transformation. Listen to the whispers of your spirit, chosen ones. Now, let's turn our attention to Maria, a seemingly ordinary woman who began experiencing vivid dreams filled with symbolic imagery. Initially, she dismissed them as products of her overactive imagination, but the dreams persisted, growing more intense and detailed. One night, she dreamt of a serpent coiled around a tree, whispering deceptive promises. She felt a surge of fear, but also a strange sense of empowerment. Upon awakening, she felt compelled to research the symbolism of the serpent and discovered its connection to deception and temptation. This prompted her to examine her own life, to identify the areas where she was being misled or manipulated. As a result, she severed ties with toxic relationships, made more ethical choices, and reconnected with her spiritual purpose. This is but one small example of how these signs present themselves and how we must act. Recognizing these activation signs is crucial, chosen ones, but it's only the first step. The real challenge lies in understanding their deeper meaning and purpose. Now that we've identified the signs, how do we interpret the final warning embedded within them? What specific messages are being conveyed, and what actions are we being called to take? The answers, as always, are within you. What if the final warning isn't a loud announcement, a blaring siren signaling impending doom, but a subtle whisper woven into the fabric of reality? What if it's not a singular event, but a multi-layered message embedded within the activation signs we've already discussed? The final warning is a call to awareness, discernment, and action, urging you to prepare for the challenges and opportunities ahead. It's a personal invitation to become who you were always meant to be. This final warning can manifest in a multitude of ways. You might experience prophetic dreams, visions of potential future timelines, and the consequences of different choices. These dreams may be unsettling, even frightening, but they are ultimately meant to guide you, to help you make the right decisions. Pay close attention to the symbols, the emotions, and the overall message of these dreams. They are not random occurrences, but direct communications from the divine. You might also encounter symbolic messages in art, media, and advertising. The enemy, knowing the prophecies, often hides coded warnings and instructions in plain sight, using symbols and archetypes to communicate with those who are attuned to their frequency. Learn to recognize these symbols, to decipher their hidden meanings, and to understand the agendas they are promoting. Consider the recent surge in movies and television shows depicting dystopian futures, technological enslavement, and spiritual warfare. These are not simply works of fiction, but reflections of the underlying anxieties and fears of our collective consciousness. They are also, in many cases, deliberate attempts to desensitize you to these realities, to normalize the idea of control and manipulation. But here's the kicker, and what they don't want you to know. By recognizing these themes in popular culture, you can begin to inoculate yourself against their influence. You can choose to reject the narratives of fear and despair, and instead focus on creating a more positive and empowering future. Think about the parallels between current global events and biblical prophecies about the end times. We see political unrest, economic instability, environmental disasters, and a rise in deception and corruption. Many interpret these events as signs of the imminent return of Christ, while others see them as evidence of a more general spiritual awakening. Regardless of your specific beliefs, it's clear that we are living in a time of unprecedented change and uncertainty. The key is not to become paralyzed by fear, but to use this time as an opportunity to grow in faith, to deepen your connection with God, and to prepare for whatever challenges lie ahead. Take heart, chosen ones. Decoding these messages requires a multifaceted approach. Start with biblical hermeneutics, the art of interpreting scripture in its historical and cultural context. Understand the original meaning of the text, the symbols and metaphors that are being used, and the overall message that is being conveyed. Next, apply symbolic analysis to contemporary events, discerning the spiritual implications of political decisions, social trends, and technological advancements. Finally, and most importantly, enhance your intuition and connect with divine guidance. Spend time in prayer and meditation, asking for clarity and insight. Trust your gut feelings, those nudges from your higher self that guide you towards truth and away from deception. This is your divine right, chosen one, never forget that. Understanding the final warning is absolutely crucial for preparing for the spiritual warfare that is already underway. But who is waging this war? What are their tactics? And how can we protect ourselves from their influence? What if everything you thought you knew about the enemy was wrong? The enemy isn't always who you think it is. It doesn't always wear a mask. The enemy isn't just a visible force, a group of shadowy figures pulling the strings from behind the scenes. More often than not, the enemy operates through subtle manipulation and deception, exploiting vulnerabilities in human psychology and societal structures. The most effective tactics are those that remain hidden, those that lull you into a false sense of security, those that convince you that you are in control when you are actually being controlled. The enemy manifests in countless ways, including the spread of misinformation, the manipulation of emotions, and the erosion of moral values. Misinformation campaigns are used to sow division, create confusion, and undermine trust in credible sources. They prey on your fears, your biases, and your desire for simple answers to complex problems. Emotional manipulation techniques, such as fear-mongering, guilt-tripping, and gaslighting, are used to control your behavior and suppress your dissent. They exploit your insecurities, your vulnerabilities, and your need for validation. The erosion of moral values, such as relativism, hedonism, and materialism, weakens individuals and societies, making them more vulnerable to external influences. They distract you from your true purpose, your spiritual path, and your connection with God. Consider the historical examples of propaganda and censorship, how they have been used to manipulate public opinion and suppress dissent throughout history. Think about the rise of Nazi Germany, the Soviet Union, and other totalitarian regimes. These regimes used sophisticated propaganda techniques to control the minds of their citizens, to demonize their enemies, and to justify their oppressive policies. Now, analyze contemporary examples of social media manipulation. Algorithms and bots are used to spread misinformation, influence behavior, and silence dissenting voices. Social media platforms are designed to be addictive, to keep you scrolling endlessly through a sea of information, much of which is false or misleading. The role of media and entertainment in shaping cultural values and promoting specific ideologies cannot be overstated. Movies, television shows, music, and video games are powerful tools for shaping your beliefs, your attitudes, and your behaviors. They can be used to promote positive values, but they can also be used to promote negative ones, such as violence, materialism, and sexual exploitation. Now that you see them, you can't unsee them. But the question is, what do you do now? How do you protect yourself and others from these harmful effects? How do you cultivate discernment, strengthen your spiritual defenses, and align with your divine purpose? And how do you activate your unique gifts in this battle? That's what we'll uncover next, but what we'll discover next is even more shocking than what you've heard today. But what if spiritual defense wasn't about erecting impenetrable walls, but about illuminating an unassailable inner beacon? What if the most potent defense isn't a shield, but an inner fire that burns so brightly the darkness simply cannot take hold? This is the truth they don't want you to realize, chosen ones. True spiritual defense begins from within. It's about cultivating inner peace, unwavering clarity, and unshakable strength. It's not merely about repelling negativity, but actively amplifying your inherent divine light. Spiritual defense, in its truest form, is a threefold practice: discernment, protection, and purification. Discernment is the razor-sharp ability to distinguish truth from falsehood, good from evil, authentic guidance from deceptive whispers. It's the God-given sense that alerts you to danger, that allows you to see through the masks and manipulations of the enemy. Like a seasoned warrior who can identify the slightest shift in the wind, discernment allows you to anticipate attacks and prepare accordingly. Protection, on the other hand, involves actively shielding yourself from negative energies, psychic attacks, and spiritual interference. It's about creating a sacred space around you, a sanctuary where you can replenish your energy and commune with the divine, free from the intrusions of the outside world. Finally, purification is the ongoing process of cleansing yourself of negative thoughts, toxic emotions, and detrimental attachments that weaken your spiritual defenses. It's like detoxifying your body, removing the impurities that cloud your mind and cloud your spirit, allowing your inner light to shine forth without obstruction. How do we put these principles into practice? Start with prayer, that direct line to the divine, fortifying your connection with God and requesting protection from negative influences. Pray specifically for discernment, asking for clarity in identifying deception and guidance in making the right choices. Incorporate meditation into your daily routine, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and focus on your breath, calming the incessant chatter of your mind and opening yourself up to receive divine guidance. Remember the power of affirmations, those potent statements of truth that can reprogram your subconscious mind and reinforce positive beliefs. Speak these affirmations with conviction, chosen ones, and feel their power resonating within you. For psychic protection, visualize yourself surrounded by a shield of white light, impenetrable to all negative energies. Envision this shield expanding outwards, enveloping your home, your loved ones, and your entire life. Incorporate protective crystals or symbols into your environment, such as black tourmaline, obsidian, or the pentagram, which can act as powerful deterrents to negative influences. To release pent-up emotions, keep a journal to unleash these emotions. Consider seeking guidance from a therapist to confront and process any emotions that may be weighing you down. Practice forgiveness, both towards yourself and towards others, releasing the burden of resentment and opening yourself up to receive healing and grace. Let's consider David facing Goliath. He didn't passively hope for the best. He actively prepared, honing his skills with the slingshot, trusting in God's protection, and purifying his heart from fear. Just like David, we must become proactive warriors of light, strengthening our inner defenses and preparing to face the giants in our own lives. But how can we use these spiritual defenses to amplify our impact on the world, to not only protect ourselves, but to create a ripple effect of positive change? What if the gifts within you were the very weapons you needed to defeat the enemy? What if the very thing you've been criticized for, the quality that makes you feel the most different, is actually your greatest gift in disguise? What if your sensitivity, your creativity, your unconventional thinking are not weaknesses, but superpowers waiting to be unlocked? The enemy wants you to believe that your unique qualities are flaws, that you need to conform to fit in. But I tell you, chosen ones, your difference is your strength. Your gifts are not random. They are divinely ordained, specifically designed to fulfill your purpose and contribute to the unfolding prophecy. These gifts manifest in countless forms: intuitive abilities, the power to sense energies, receive guidance, and discern truth; healing powers, the capacity to heal yourself and others, both physically and emotionally; creative talents, the ability to express yourself through art, music, writing, or other forms of self-expression; leadership skills, the capacity to inspire, motivate, and guide others towards a better future. The possibilities are endless, and the potential is limitless. Consider Sarah, who always felt overwhelmed by the emotions of others. She was often told she was too sensitive, but she eventually realized that her empathy was a powerful gift. She learned to use her intuitive abilities to offer comfort, guidance, and healing to those in need, becoming a beacon of light in her community. Or consider Mark, who struggled with dyslexia as a child. He was told he would never be a good writer, but he persevered, developing a unique writing style that resonated with millions. He used his creative talents to inspire hope, challenge injustice, and awaken others to their true potential. How do you unlock these gifts? Start by embracing your uniqueness, celebrating your differences, and recognizing that what makes you weird is what makes you powerful. Engage in practices that enhance your intuition, such as dream analysis, automatic writing, and regular meditation. Experiment with different healing modalities, such as energy work, Reiki, or shamanic practices, and discover what resonates with you. Explore your creative talents, experimenting with different forms of self-expression and allowing yourself to create without judgment. Develop your leadership skills by volunteering in your community, mentoring others, and speaking out on issues that you care about. For example, if you sense energies, practice grounding techniques to manage the overwhelming emotions and explore your empathic abilities. If you're drawn to creative pursuits, set aside time each day to write, paint, or play music, and let your creativity flow without restriction. If you feel a calling to lead, seek out opportunities to mentor others, organize community events, or speak out on issues that you care about. Unleashing your gifts isn't just about personal fulfillment, it's about fulfilling your divine assignment. In Esther 4:14, Mordecai tells Esther, "For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows, but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this." Just like Esther, you have been placed in this time and space for a specific purpose. Your gifts are needed, chosen ones, and the world is waiting for you to unleash them. Now that you know you have a gift, how do you take action? Knowing is only half the battle, but the real battle lies in your choices. What decisive steps will you take to align with the prophecy, protect yourself from harm, and contribute to the greater good? Are you ready to step into your power, to embrace your destiny, and to become the warrior of light you were always meant to be? This isn't a dress rehearsal, folks. This is it. The time for preparation is over. The time for action has arrived. The choices you make in the coming days and weeks will have a profound impact on your own life and the future of the world. Will you choose to remain in slumber, trapped by fear and doubt? Or will you choose to awaken, to embrace your calling, and to step into your destiny? The choice, as always, is yours. Start by prioritizing your spiritual practices, making time for prayer, meditation, and self-reflection. Connect with God, listen to His guidance, and ask for strength and clarity. Discern truth from falsehood, cultivating critical thinking skills, seeking reliable sources of information, and trusting your intuition. Protect yourself from negative energies, setting boundaries, surrounding yourself with supportive people, and cutting ties with those who drain your energy or undermine your spirit. Take action in your communities, speaking out against injustice, promoting compassion, and supporting positive change. If you have a knack for helping others, volunteer your time at a local charity, offering support and guidance to those in need. If you're passionate about environmental issues, start or join a community garden, promoting sustainability and connecting with nature. If you have a creative flair, create art that inspires hope and positive change, sharing your message with the world. If you're skilled at communication, share information with others, sparking critical conversations and challenging the status quo. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison for fighting against apartheid. Despite the injustice he faced, he never gave up hope, never lost his faith, and never stopped fighting for what he believed in. His unwavering commitment to justice inspired millions, leading to the end of apartheid and the creation of a more just and equitable society. Or think about Malala Yousafzai, who was shot in the head by the Taliban for advocating for girls' education. Despite the trauma she endured, she refused to be silenced, continuing to speak out for the rights of girls around the world. Her courage and determination have inspired millions, leading to greater access to education for girls in developing countries. These are only two examples of people in the modern day who have stood up for they believe in. Chosen ones, you may feel alone, you may feel overwhelmed, but you are not. You are part of a vast network of lightworkers, warriors of truth, and agents of change, all working together to create a better future. Take heart. Now is our time to shine. Take action. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt cloud your vision. Don't let the enemy steal your joy or your power. Step forward with courage, with faith, and with unwavering determination. The world is waiting for you, but we're just scratching the surface. What happens when the attacks intensify? How do we prepare for the spiritual battles that lie ahead? How do we use our gifts to not only survive, but to thrive in the midst of chaos? What we'll discover next is even more shocking, revealing the ultimate strategy for victory in this ancient war. But here's what the controllers don't want you to realize. The greatest weapon they wield is not division, but the illusion of separation itself. Many believe the political, left versus right, dichotomy is the greatest deception in our era, but it goes far deeper. It's not just about politics, it's about every aspect of your life. The forces of division are insidious, creating layers of separation between individuals, communities, and even within ourselves. Think of it like a shattered mirror, each fragment reflecting a distorted image of reality, preventing us from seeing the whole picture. This is divide and conquer on a spiritual level, a deliberate fragmentation of consciousness that hinders collective action and keeps us trapped in a cycle of conflict. This illusion manifests in countless ways, from the subtle biases that creep into our personal relationships to the blatant prejudices that fuel global conflicts. It convinces us that we are fundamentally different, that our experiences are unique and irreconcilable, that we have nothing in common with those who look, think, or believe differently than we do. But is this truly the case? This illusion prevents the chosen ones from recognizing their shared purpose and combining their unique strengths. The perceived differences in race, religion, political views, and social status are deliberately amplified to create discord, making it difficult to unite against the forces of darkness. The enemy knows that as long as we are divided, we are weak, easily manipulated, and unable to effectively resist their agenda. Consider how social media algorithms often create echo chambers, feeding us information that confirms our existing beliefs and isolating us from dissenting viewpoints. Or look at how political rhetoric often relies on demonizing the other side, creating animosity and preventing meaningful dialogue. It's all designed to keep us separate, to keep us fighting amongst ourselves, and to keep us from recognizing our shared humanity and our collective power. Historical examples abound of how the illusion of separation has been used to control populations and suppress dissent. Think about the Tower of Babel, a story that illustrates how a united humanity, speaking a single language, posed a threat to divine authority, prompting God to confuse their language and scatter them across the earth. Or consider the Roman Empire's decline, which was accelerated by internal divisions, corruption, and the erosion of shared values. Even the Rwandan genocide was fueled by the illusion of separation, with propaganda, misinformation, and fear-mongering used to exacerbate existing ethnic tensions and incite violence. We see parallels in current events, such as the polarization of social media, the rise of tribalism, and the erosion of empathy. Propaganda, misinformation, and outright lies fan the flames of division, making it increasingly difficult to discern truth from falsehood. The Bible speaks powerfully about the importance of unity and the body of Christ. In 1 Corinthians 12:27, Paul uses the analogy of the human body to illustrate how each member of the church, though different, is essential to the overall health and functioning of the whole. He emphasizes that if one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part rejoices with it. This passage serves as a powerful reminder that we are all interconnected and that our individual well-being is inextricably linked to the well-being of others. The time has come to break free from the chains of separation and to embrace our shared humanity. With this in mind, how can the chosen ones transcend the illusion of separation and reclaim their inherent interconnectedness? What are the practical steps to bridge these divides and foster unity in a fragmented world? Chosen one, you might be surprised that the most stunning thing you can do is to focus your attention on unified intention. It seems so simple, doesn't it, to simply focus your attention, but like a laser, that focus can cut through steel. Intention to heal the world, forgive transgressions, and operate in love is more powerful than you know. Unified intention is the conscious act of aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with a shared purpose or goal. It's about recognizing our interconnectedness and harnessing the power of collective consciousness to create positive change on a global scale. When we come together with a common intention, we amplify our individual energies, creating a synergistic effect that can influence reality in profound ways. Think of it like a choir, where each voice contributes to a harmonious whole, creating a sound that is far greater than the sum of its parts. In the same way, unified intention can create a powerful wave of positive energy that can ripple outwards, transforming individuals, communities, and even the world. But here's the secret: it has to be unified. A choir singing different songs creates noise, not music. There is a scientific basis for unified intention. Studies on the observer effect, quantum entanglement, and the power of collective prayer demonstrate the interconnectedness of all things and the ability to influence reality through consciousness. The observer effect, for example, shows that the act of observing a quantum system can change its behavior. Quantum entanglement suggests that two particles can be linked together in such a way that they share the same fate, regardless of the distance separating them. And studies on collective prayer have shown that it can have a measurable impact on healing outcomes. These concepts suggest that our thoughts and intentions are not confined to our individual minds, but can extend outwards, influencing the world around us in ways that we are only beginning to understand. Consider the power of prayer groups to heal individuals with illnesses. Or examine how indigenous cultures harness the power of nature by unifying themselves with the rhythms and energies of the earth. Many indigenous cultures believe that humans are an integral part of nature and that we have a responsibility to live in harmony with the earth. They use rituals, ceremonies, and practices to connect with the natural world and to harness its healing power. By aligning their intentions with the natural world, they are able to tap into a source of wisdom and healing that is far greater than themselves. I've personally witnessed the power of intention in my own life and the lives of others. I recall a time when a close friend was diagnosed with a serious illness. A group of us came together to pray for her, focusing our intentions on her healing and well-being. To the amazement of her doctors, she made a full recovery, defying all expectations. Unified intention has also been used to create positive social change. The civil rights movement, the anti-apartheid movement, and the global peace movement all demonstrate the power of collective action fueled by a shared intention for justice, equality, and peace. In each of these cases, individuals came together from diverse backgrounds, united by a common vision for a better world. They harnessed the power of collective consciousness to challenge oppressive systems, to break down barriers of discrimination, and to create a more just and equitable society. It is your time to join the ranks of the change makers. So, how can the chosen ones cultivate unified intention in their own lives and contribute to a more harmonious world? Are there specific practices or techniques that can amplify the power of collective consciousness and accelerate the unfolding of the prophecy? What if I told you that the final piece of your transformation has to do with accepting all of the things you've ever hated about yourself? It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But this is the ultimate key. Embrace past failures and perceived weaknesses as valuable lessons and sources of strength. The concept of a divine blueprint suggests that each chosen one has a unique path, a roadmap for fulfilling one's destiny. This blueprint is about the integration of light and shadow, embracing imperfections, and understanding that every experience, even the painful ones, has served a purpose. It's not about striving for perfection, but about embracing our authentic selves, flaws and all, and allowing our unique gifts to shine forth. This divine blueprint is not a rigid plan, but a flexible framework that allows for free will and creative expression. Like a sculptor working with a block of marble, we have the freedom to shape our lives according to our own desires, while still remaining true to the inherent potential that lies within us. Karma plays a role. Past experiences shape present circumstances and future opportunities. Learning from mistakes, forgiving oneself and others, and releasing limiting beliefs and patterns are the ultimate keys to this. It's about taking responsibility for our actions and choices and using them as opportunities for growth and transformation. By learning from our mistakes, we can break free from negative cycles and create a more positive future for ourselves and for others. By forgiving ourselves and others, we can release the burden of resentment and open ourselves up to receive healing and grace. And by releasing limiting beliefs and patterns, we can unlock our full potential and live lives of purpose and fulfillment. Historical figures and contemporary individuals alike have overcome adversity and embraced their unique blueprint to achieve greatness. Consider Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers, but who ultimately rose to become one of the most powerful figures in Egypt. Or David, who was a shepherd boy, but who was chosen by God to become king of Israel. And Mary Magdalene, who was a woman of ill repute, but who became one of the most devoted followers of Jesus. These biblical figures transformed their struggles into sources of strength and inspiration, becoming beacons of hope and transformation for others. We also see this in contemporary individuals, such as artists, scientists, and entrepreneurs who embraced their unconventional paths and made significant contributions to the world. But how do we decipher this divine blueprint? Are there specific tools, practices, or guidance available to help us understand our unique purpose and navigate our path with clarity and confidence? The question is, what is blocking you from being your authentic self? There are unseen files that shift the air in the room that you are not paying attention to. They show you how to tap into the fear matrix. Media-induced hysteria, social expectations, generational trauma, they all feed into it. The fear matrix, is a system of beliefs, values, and narratives that perpetuate fear, scarcity, and separation. It's the water we swim in, the air we breathe, the invisible force that shapes our perceptions of reality and limits our potential. The fear matrix is perpetuated through media, education, and cultural conditioning, shaping our perceptions of reality and limiting our potential. The media often bombards us with negative news, sensationalized stories, and fear-based messages, creating a constant state of anxiety and hypervigilance. The education system often promotes conformity, obedience, and rote memorization, stifling creativity and critical thinking. And cultural conditioning often reinforces limiting beliefs and patterns, perpetuating cycles of poverty, violence, and oppression. Technology amplifies fear-based messages and creates a constant state of anxiety and hypervigilance. Becoming aware of the fear matrix and its influence on our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors is key. Recognizing it is the first step towards transcending its limitations and reclaiming our freedom. It's about questioning the narratives we've been told, challenging the assumptions we've made, and reclaiming our power to define our own reality. It's about recognizing that the fear matrix is not real, that it's a construct of the mind, and that we have the power to dismantle it. Real-world examples demonstrate how the fear matrix is used to control populations, suppress dissent, and advance specific agendas. Consider how media is used to create enemies that don't exist, to demonize those who hold different views, and to justify acts of violence and aggression. Or consider how governments use fear to justify surveillance, censorship, and the erosion of civil liberties. Sociological studies demonstrate the impact of media violence, social media addiction, and consumerism on human well-being. They reveal how these factors contribute to anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues in modern society. And they show how the fear matrix perpetuates cycles of violence, poverty, and oppression. If people knew how to see behind the illusion, how do you step outside the fear matrix? Can you really ever leave it behind? How can the chosen ones help others awaken to the truth and create a more fearless and loving world? Chosen one, what if I told you that what the controllers truly fear is not your power, but the realization that you believe you have none? Consider this. A popular phrase that has been circulating is "you will own nothing and you will be happy." But what does it really mean to own nothing? Isn't it the inverse of being in power? Think about it. If you possess nothing, you are entirely dependent on external forces for your survival, for your very existence. You become a puppet, dancing to the tune of those who control the resources, the information, and the systems that govern your life. This is the ultimate goal of the controllers, to strip you of your agency, to convince you that you are helpless, and to render you completely subservient to their will. The fear matrix instills a sense of powerlessness in individuals, convincing them that they are victims of circumstance and have no agency to change their lives or the world. It's a carefully constructed illusion, designed to keep you trapped in a cycle of despair and inaction. The controllers manipulate narratives and create systems that reinforce this belief, such as promoting a victim mentality, discouraging critical thinking, and limiting access to resources and opportunities. They want you to believe that you are at the mercy of forces beyond your control, that your efforts are futile, and that resistance is impossible. Highlight how these tactics disempower individuals and prevent them from taking responsibility for their lives and actions. They encourage you to blame others for your problems, to focus on what you lack, and to believe that you are inherently incapable of achieving your dreams. This creates a sense of learned helplessness, a psychological state in which individuals believe that they are unable to control their environment or outcomes, leading to apathy, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. Recognizing this illusion and reclaiming one's inherent power is of utmost importance, understanding that each chosen one has the ability to shape their reality and contribute to the unfolding prophecy. This power comes from within, from the realization that you are a divine being with unlimited potential. It's about recognizing your ability to choose your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions regardless of external circumstances. It's about taking responsibility for your life and refusing to be a victim of circumstance. Sociological studies have shown the impact of learned helplessness, social inequality, and media manipulation on human behavior, proving that these forces can significantly diminish an individual's sense of control and agency. However, there are countless stories of individuals who have overcome adversity and reclaimed their power, demonstrating that it is possible to transcend the illusion of powerlessness and create a life of purpose and fulfillment. Consider the example of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison for his activism against apartheid, but who emerged with an even stronger resolve to fight for justice and equality. Or Malala Yousafzai, who was shot by the Taliban for advocating for girls' education, but who went on to become a global symbol of courage and resilience. But how do the chosen ones break free from this illusion and reclaim their inherent power? What are the specific steps they can take to cultivate self-efficacy, challenge limiting beliefs, and create a life of purpose and impact? Can you feel it? Despite the seeming lack of control, you still have absolute power to choose your actions. Choosing compassion over fear, truth over deception, and love over hate, these small choices pave the road to freedom. Choice is the ultimate expression of free will and the key to unlocking one's potential. It is a fundamental aspect of the human experience, the ability to make decisions and shape our own destinies. Every moment of every day, we are presented with opportunities to choose, to act, to create. And each choice we make has consequences, shaping our individual and collective realities. These choices can be as small as what we eat for breakfast or as large as what career we pursue. But each one contributes to the tapestry of our lives, influencing our relationships, our opportunities, and our overall well-being. The controllers seek to limit choice by manipulating information, creating false dilemmas, and promoting a sense of scarcity. They want you to believe that you have only a limited number of options, that your choices are constrained by external forces, and that you are powerless to change your circumstances. They bombard you with propaganda, misinformation, and fear-based narratives designed to influence your decisions and keep you trapped in a cycle of dependence. But the truth is that you always have a choice. You can choose to believe their lies, or you can choose to seek out the truth. You can choose to be a victim of circumstance, or you can choose to take control of your life. You can choose to live in fear, or you can choose to live in love. Intention plays a significant role in making choices that align with divine purpose and contribute to the greater good. Aligning intentions with the highest good amplifies the power of those choices. Every decision, every action, every thought is imbued with energy, and that energy has the power to manifest in the world around us. When you align your intentions with the highest good, you are tapping into a source of infinite power and potential, creating a ripple effect of positive change that can transform your life and the lives of others. There are countless stories of individuals who have made courageous choices in the face of adversity, demonstrating the power of choice to transform lives and inspire others. Think of Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her seat on a bus, sparking the Montgomery bus boycott and igniting the civil rights movement. Or Mahatma Gandhi, who led India to independence through nonviolent resistance, challenging the might of the British Empire. In our own lives, we can find examples of individuals who have made difficult choices that aligned with their values and led to fulfilling outcomes. A single mom who worked 2 jobs to put her kids through college. The entrepreneur who risked everything to start their own business. The activist who dedicated their life to fighting for justice. These are the people who inspire us, who show us what is possible when we embrace the power of choice. Mention historical figures who defied oppression, stood up for justice, and created positive change in the world. Share personal anecdotes of individuals who have made difficult choices that aligned with their values and led to fulfilling outcomes. But how do the chosen ones cultivate the wisdom and discernment to make empowering choices? Are there specific practices or techniques that can enhance their ability to align their choices with their divine blueprint and contribute to the unfolding prophecy? Your intuition tells you 1,000 things per day. One of the best ways to feel more in control is to accept the responsibility for filtering them into appropriate action. Learning to interpret gut feelings and acting on them, especially, can create amazing results. Sovereignty is the recognition of one's inherent authority and responsibility for their own lives and actions. It is the understanding that you are the master of your own destiny, the captain of your own ship, the architect of your own reality. It's about recognizing that you have the power to choose your own path, to set your own course, and to create a life that is aligned with your values and your purpose. The controllers seek to undermine sovereignty by promoting dependence on external authorities, discouraging self-reliance, and eroding individual liberties. They want you to believe that you need them, that you cannot survive without their guidance, their protection, and their control. They create systems of dependence, such as welfare programs, government regulations, and corporate monopolies that keep you trapped in a cycle of reliance and subservience. They discourage self-reliance by promoting a culture of consumerism, instant gratification, and entitlement. And they erode individual liberties by enacting laws that restrict your freedom of speech, your freedom of assembly, and your freedom of choice. Reclaiming one's sovereignty by cultivating self-awareness, setting boundaries, and exercising one's rights and responsibilities is crucial to breaking free from the control of the controllers. By cultivating self-awareness, we become more attuned to our own needs, our own desires, and our own values. By setting boundaries, we protect ourselves from the influence of others and maintain our own autonomy. And by exercising our rights and responsibilities, we assert our power and create a more just and equitable world. Stories of individuals who have stepped into their sovereignty and created lives of freedom, purpose, and abundance are common and serve as an encouragement. Consider Henry David Thoreau, who retreated to Walden Pond to live a life of simplicity and self-reliance, rejecting the materialism and conformity of mainstream society. Or Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her seat on a bus, sparking the Montgomery bus boycott and igniting the civil rights movement. Or Mahatma Gandhi, who led India to independence through nonviolent resistance, challenging the might of the British Empire. These philosophical and spiritual teachings emphasize the importance of self-governance, personal responsibility, and the pursuit of truth. By challenging unjust systems, creating alternative solutions, and inspiring others to reclaim their own power, sovereign individuals can help create a world where everyone is free to live authentically and purposefully. But how do the chosen ones cultivate the self-trust and courage to step into their sovereignty, especially in the face of opposition or criticism? Are there specific practices or techniques that can strengthen their inner authority and empower them to live authentically and purposefully? Let me tell you something that might stun the banking world. The concept of compound interest also works for good actions. Its true, small, consistent acts of kindness, compassion, and service can create a ripple effect that transforms the world. When you deposit a small amount of money into a savings account, it earns interest, which is then added to the principal, allowing it to grow exponentially over time. In the same way, when you perform a small act of kindness, it creates a positive energy that ripples outwards, inspiring others to do the same. This creates a virtuous cycle, where each act of kindness generates even more kindness, transforming individuals, communities, and even the world. The concept of timelines suggests that individual choices can shift their path. Your future is not set in stone, and that you have the power to change it through your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. The controllers seek to manipulate timelines by creating fear-based scenarios, promoting negative predictions, and suppressing positive alternatives. They want you to believe that the future is bleak, that there is nothing you can do to change it, and that you are doomed to suffer. They bombard you with negative news, sensationalized stories, and fear-based narratives, designed to keep you trapped in a cycle of anxiety and despair. Emphasize the importance of focusing on positive visions, aligning with higher frequencies, and manifesting desired outcomes. By focusing on what you want to create, rather than what you fear, you can attract positive energy and manifest your desired reality. By aligning with higher frequencies, such as love, joy, and gratitude, you can amplify your power and create a more fulfilling life. Collective consciousness plays a crucial role in shaping timelines, understanding that individual choices can influence the entire collective. Each thought, each emotion, each action has an impact on the collective consciousness. And when a critical mass of individuals focuses on a positive vision, it can create a powerful shift in the collective timeline, transforming the world for the better. There are stories of individuals and groups who have consciously shifted timelines and created positive change in their lives and the world, such as the fall of the Berlin Wall, the end of apartheid in South Africa, and the global movement to combat climate change. The power of collective action and the ability to shift timelines through consciousness and intention is amazing. Think about historical events that were averted through collective action, such as the prevention of nuclear war or the success of social movements. These examples all demonstrate the power of collective intention to create positive change and shift timelines for the better. But what are the specific strategies or techniques that the chosen ones can use to consciously shift timelines? How can they best focus their intentions, align their actions, and contribute to the creation of a more positive and fulfilling future for all? As we reach the culmination of this urgent message, let's solidify the path forward, remembering that the ancient prophecy is activating now, chosen ones. I want you to feel the weight of this moment, but also the power within you that rises to meet it. Let's take a moment and breathe deeply as we approach the door. Remember, chosen ones, this final warning isn't a cause for fear, but a powerful invitation to step into the fullness of your power, a power that has been dormant, waiting for this very moment. We've discussed the interconnectedness of all things, how your actions, your intentions, ripple outwards, shaping the very fabric of reality. Unified intention is key. Recognize that the divine blueprint is not a rigid structure, but a living, breathing tapestry woven by your choices. It is within you to shift realities, create new positive timelines, and ultimately ascend to the highest version of yourself that has been waiting. I ask you, can you feel this immense weight lift from your shoulders? The path is there. We've explored recognizing the enemy's tactics, their manipulation of narratives, their attempts to instill fear and division. We've talked about activating your spiritual defenses, your discernment, your intuition, your connection to the divine. And we've celebrated the unleashing of your unique gifts, your creativity, your compassion, your ability to manifest a better world. These are not isolated actions, beloved, but interconnected aspects of a holistic approach to spiritual warfare. Recognize their patterns, arm yourself with truth, and unleash the power that resides within you. The final warning activates what has been seeded in you, enabling you to recognize the times and step fully into your divine purpose. This activation, chosen ones, is not just for you, but a vital piece of humanity's ascension. Your awakening serves as a catalyst, a beacon of light that illuminates the path for others. You are contributing to a more just, compassionate, and sustainable world, a world where love triumphs over fear and truth prevails over deception. Your actions now have a ripple effect that extends far beyond your own lifetimes. Like many heroes before, your choices now echo throughout reality, like stones dropped in still water, shaping the future for generations to come. Embrace the weight of this moment, as it is your birthright and destiny to be here now, at the crescendo. Know that you are strong, you are capable, and you are deeply loved. You are divinely protected and supported, surrounded by a legion of angels who stand ready to assist you in your mission. It is okay to feel overwhelmed, but do not be overcome, for your spirit is fortified with the unwavering power of the divine. You have all you need within you to prevail. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Hold on to that belief, feel it, and let it permeate all that you do. Many chosen ones feel alone in this fight, and the path is hard, but remember, you are part of a growing community of Lightworkers, all interconnected, all working towards the same goal, the ascension of humanity. This week is the perfect time to reflect on what has been revealed to you, to integrate these truths into your daily life, and to take concrete steps towards embodying your divine purpose. Share this video with others who need this message and type, "I am awake," in the comments if you feel the call to fully step into your power. Join our community if you feel led, so you don't have to walk this path alone. You are fully embraced, loved, and ready to create your new timeline. The new now. Knowing what you now know, how will you choose to shape the world around you? You are sovereign, you are powerful, and your choices create ripples that shape eternity. May you be blessed with clarity, courage, and unwavering faith as you step into your destiny. Go forth, chosen ones, the future awaits.